I'm not even going to do my intro for this video. This is too serious of a subject to take flippantly. Um, so, if you haven't heard the news, it's been going around Twitter and stuff a lot lately, but just last night in Japan, the animation studio Kyoto Animation, or often abbreviated to KyoAni, was burned down by an arsonist who, essentially, I've been doing my best to keep up with the news about this, and it appears so far that the fire's been able to be stopped, and a suspect has been apprehended, but unfortunately, something like 30, 36, I don't remember, large number of people were injured in the fire, and another 33, I think, have been confirmed deceased so far. This is a major tragedy, and it's devastating to see something like this happen to anyone. Kyoto Animation has produced a large variety of great anime shows. I've never personally been a huge fan of their work, but I think it's undeniable to say that they have made a huge mark on the anime community at large, and that some of the series that they produced have been downright amazing, really. And it's just really extremely sad to see something like this happen to a studio that has made such a big contribution, but even more than that, to all of those people who were hurt in the fire. And so I'm there's I've been praying for them, and I really hope that things are able to turn around, and those people who are injured will be able to make a recovery, and the families of all of the people who were hurt or have died will be consoled and be able to get through this difficult time. The main point of making this video is to bring to your attention a couple of ways that we, as a community, can help with this problem. The first, as I was talking about, many of you know I'm extremely religious, so I would suggest that all of you pray for them. And I mean, actually get down on your knees and pray. But there are, of course, some other more temporal options for helping them out that I want to bring to your attention, which are the anime licensing studio Sentai Filmworks, who have worked with Kyoto Animation pretty closely. They released a Gofundme to raise some money to be able to help out the studio and the people who were affected by this. Their original goal was, I think, $50,000, and last I checked, they'd almost reached it. But of course, every little bit helps, and so I'll be leaving a link to that in the description if you want to go and do the little bit that you can to contribute and to show them that we're there and that we love them. If I know a lot of people are kind of wary of GoFundMe things because there's no guarantee that it's gonna actually get through to the people. I'm putting my faith in Sentai Filmworks. I think they're trustworthy enough to be able to, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on this, but if you don't, I've seen some posts going around on Twitter that kind of show you how you can go to Kyoto Animation's website and purchase stuff from them in order to contribute more directly. So we'll be leaving a link to one of those down in the description too. So if that's your preferred option to contribute more directly, then you can do that. I'm not personally going to do that because I don't want to feel like I'm getting something out of this, but it is true that it's a more direct way of contributing, so definitely something you can consider if the fundraiser is not, if you're unsure about that. So this is obviously a secondary reason for me to be recording this video, but it's something that I thought was important to bring to people's attention. So if stick around and hear me out on this, please, because I do think it's really important. As I was trying to keep updated on Twitter about everything that was going on with this incident, I ran into a couple of tweets like this. I'll put one on the screen so you can see it. And it wasn't a lot of people, but the fact remains that there are people who are saying stuff like this, and a lot of people who are saying that they're glad that or like just kind of aggressively saying that they hope that the person who did this is severely punished for what he did. And see, here's the thing, guys. I do agree, of course, that a consequence for this has to exist, and that a man who would choose to intentionally hurt people like that shouldn't be allowed to just walk around on the streets, obviously. But this is really the wrong way to go about or to act or feel toward him. And again, I'm going to be talking about a lot of religious stuff in this video, but the thing is, I believe that every single one of us is a son or daughter of God, and that all of us are worth have immeasurable worth in his eyes. And that doesn't just mean all of those people who were hurt. Of course, it definitely means them each individually, but it also means the person who chose to hurt them. And all of this kind of vengeful attitude toward him, I don't think is really healthy, or it. A way to put it in terms that everyone in this community can kind of understand and agree with, would be by comparing this to a scene from Fullmetal Alchemist. So, spoilers for Fullmetal Alchemist going ahead, I guess. I didn't expect to have to say that until my In Defense of FMA video comes out, but here we are. Anyway, there's this scene when Edward goes into Laboratory 5 to kind of figure out what's going on, and ends up confronting these two brothers whose souls have been trapped within this suit of armor. They were originally convicts who were taken from the prison where they were located and essentially killed so that their souls could be put into this armor so that they could guard this facility. And he ends up coming into conflict with them and fights against them and eventually defeats them. And when he beats them, they're kind of saying he should go ahead and finish the job. And Edward is unwilling to do it because they are human beings just like him, and it's a big theme in that show, the worth of the human soul and how really important it is. And despite all of the terrible things these people have done, and how everyone else for their entire lives and have treated them like monsters, that Ed recognizes that these people, while they are terrible people, are still humans, just like the rest of us. And so he refuses to kill them in that moment. And I think there's a lesson there for all of us to learn, whether you believe in religion or not, which is that a lot of media kind of promotes this idea of the fact that people, who are bad, horrible people are dehumanizing themselves, that they're no longer people, that they're monsters, and that's just not true. Every one of us is a human being, and we all have potential to be great people. And so, instead of acting vengeful or angry towards this person, I would hope that all of us are able to recognize that the fact that he decided to make this choice to hurt so many other people and to essentially ruin his own life in the process, that is as heartbreaking as it is horrible. And I guess if there's anything I want you to be able to get from this, it's that whether you're religious or not, you should recognize that everyone in the world is a person just like you, and they all deserve to be loved, even if they've made choices that are absolutely terrible and absolutely wrong. And again, I definitely think that it's important that this man is put away so that he can't have an opportunity to hurt any other people. But we it's just wrong to be saying that we hope that you hope that he burns in hell or something like that, because honestly, that's a worse fate to wish on anyone than something as temporary as death. And I know most people won't agree with me on this point, but I find it incredibly important. And so, if you could share this video around so that people can see this way that they can help support the people who are hurt in this incident, and so that they can hear this message that really isn't being said anywhere else as far as I can see, I would appreciate it so much. And just, you know, I'll be putting the link to the GoFundMe and the other options in the description, as well as Crunchyroll's news article on this. I would link the NHK one, but I don't speak Japanese, so you can check those out down there. And yeah, this is pretty terrible, but remember, we need to love everyone. And of course that means the people who are hurt more than anything right now. But don't go saying that people should go to hell. Just don't. Stop it.